You are silly kids.
Once you go get your clothes, you went off it down there. We'll come visit you down there.
Mm-hmm.
Nana needs to do yoga too.
Nana needs to do yoga. Kids yoga.
Nana's back was sore yesterday, and I said, I need to do yoga.
Good morning. Good morning. Who's there with us this morning? We'll get started in about 10 minutes. Setting things up. Three of us on. Who's online so far? The family's all scrambling because they're like, oh, Grandpa's getting started. Robin's heading for the treadmill. Kids are going downstairs. Pom Pom will stay though. Pom Pom loves morning devotions. She's a big fan. Big fan. Let's check back on my other screen, see who's here. already. We will start in 7 more minutes. So if you want to grab a cup of coffee, go for it. That looks good. And let's see it. Try to capture. There it is. It worked. How about that? You'll see what I'm talking about in a few minutes. All right. Good. It's good. Good morning. Good morning. 4 more minutes. We'll get started. Dragon today. I'm dragging. I decided to go with no shower. No shower. No shave. Just kind of. It's a rainy day. 100% rain today. Gonna be yucky. I need my tablet. Two of us on. Who else? Who else is there? Wish Facebook would let me see. It doesn't though. Just all these people that don't know who's on. It's the way it always works. I guess it's so you can be anonymous. You can be an anonymous watcher. That's fine. That says 8:30. What is my tablet? My tablet time is 2 minutes faster than my regular time. That's not good. Robin's old phone was like that. couple minutes faster.
I thought you did that on purpose.
I did not, but that would be a good idea. That way you'd always be ready to roll. Good morning, you guys. Good morning, Jan. Can you hear me okay? I hope so. What a rainy day. April showers bring Mayflowers, and our daffodils are about to go crazy. They are covered. Just tons of blooms getting ready to go. All right. Let's see if I can hear me on my tablet. That will be one way. Okay, you can hear me. That's good. That's good. Good morning, Chels. Missed you last night, but that's okay. Yesterday was a day of technical difficulties. So we've made the decision. We're definitely dumping YouTube because it just makes things so difficult. And our Zoom thing, I have two different accounts. So I found that out last night too by signing on and being like, I can't see anybody. Where's the other? And why is the number different? And all of that. And so when I finally figured that out, it was a good night of learning. A good night of learning. So yeah. So good morning. I will do the count in so that I can edit this. And I do it like this. I start off and I say 3, 2, 1. Good morning, everybody. I hope you guys are having a good day. It's a rainy day here in Maine for you guys who are watching from away. The flowers are getting ready to bloom. The grass is starting to green up. Spring is right around the corner, and we are all in lockdown in the state of Maine. You have to have a special note to go back and forth to work. As I understand it, a lot of states are that way. So if you're from one of those states, maybe you're in the same place that you're just looking for things to do. This morning I'm kind of grubby because it's a no shower day, no shave. I just wasn't feeling it. Today. So who knows? Maybe that'll be a decision made halfway through the day. It's one of the big decisions that we make now in life is whether we're going to shower or not. So welcome, you guys. It's good to have you here. So this morning I want to share something with you from the little publication called Our Daily Bread. Some of you have it, so you might have already seen today's installment. If you don't have it and you would like it, you can do two different things. You can either go to Our Daily Bread, odb.org, and up in the left-hand corner, you'll see where you can click on Read Today's, and you can read it right there online. But if you're a person who likes paper, just send me a message with your address, and we will send one out to you. We had some confusion at the beginning of the quarter. We didn't get our daily bread for the church, and we normally get a box of about 50 of them that people take. And so we were scurrying around, and we called, and then 2 boxes showed up because they sent a box just in case. And so now we have some extras. We'll be glad to send one out to you. Plus, it would be fun to get mail, right? So we have some leftovers, and we would love to share that. Today we're talking from the Daily Bread about cheerful givers. Now, before you freak out about this, I want you to understand that oftentimes this passage is kind of preached with a certain goal in mind, like the church budget isn't what it should be, and the giving is off, and so we're gonna tell everybody that they need to give and they need to have a good attitude about it. So it's presented in this way that it's not intended at all, and you'll see that as we read through uh, some of it. So I'm going to start off by just putting it on the screen so that we can see it together and read it from this passage in 2 Corinthians 9 verses 6 through 9. It says this: remember, whoever sows sparingly will also reap sparingly, and whoever sows generously will also reap generously. Each of you should give what you have decided in your heart to give, not reluctantly or under compulsion. Remember those words. For God loves a cheerful giver, and God is able to bless you abundantly so that in all things, at all times, having all you need, you will abound in every good work. As it is written, they have freely scattered their gifts to the poor, their righteousness endures forever. So as I read that and I see that, I want to read this little um, part of our daily bread in today's story, which was written by John Blaze. He says, years ago, my wife received a small rebate from something she'd purchased. It wasn't something she'd expected, it just showed up in the mail. About the same time, a good friend shared with her the immense needs of women in another country, entrepreneurial-minded women trying to better themselves by way of education and business. As is often the case, however, their first barrier was finances. It was financial. My wife took that rebate and made a microloan to a ministry devoted to helping these women. When the loan was repaid, she simply loaned again, and so far has made 27 such investments. My wife enjoys many things, but there's rarely a smile as big on her face as when she receives an update on the flourishing taking place in the lives of women she's never met. So how cool. I mean, when it gets repaid, she invests it right into another one. And John says, John Blaze, the writer of this little piece, we often hear emphasis on the last word in this phrase. God loves a cheerful giver. That's in verse 7, and rightly so, but our giving has a specific quality about it. It shouldn't be done reluctantly or under compulsion. And we're called to not to sow sparingly, but generously. In a word, our giving is to be cheerful, and while each of us will give a little differently, our faces are places for telling the evidence of our cheer. So in that passage, as we look at it, and you might have had it preached to you before with the compulsion, with the compelling message that we are $23,000 behind, or we're this far behind, and we need to make it up, and we need to do this and that. But is that the heart of this passage? Why does God love a cheerful giver? Why is giving important to God? Now think about this for a sec. I was thinking about it this morning. God loves it because we are created in his image. And so when we act as he acts, when we mirror his character, when we display a Christ-like behavior, that pleases God. I mean, that makes him go, this is awesome. You know how when you have your little kids and you're a parent and they will do something that is just like daddy, something good, not the negative things like, you're just like your father, but the good things. You look and go, wow, isn't that kind of cool? how they mirror us, how they are so much like us. I see that in my grandchildren. I look and we'll say that Emma is just like her mama was when she was that age. Or we'll see Calvin going about his little experiments he's doing with his dad, and we'll be like, wow, that is definitely his dad right there. And it just gives us that feeling of warmth in our heart, that feeling of this is so cool. This is so cool. So when God loves a cheerful giver, I think it's because God is a cheerful giver. It's like we're mirroring his personality. We're mirroring his characteristics. And that is the key to him loving a cheerful giver. And so when I think about this and look at this, I'm thinking about the times that Robin and I have felt that God was calling us to give, or there was somebody who had need, or was just in that uh, difficult position of ends not meeting, or whatever it is, and the satisfaction that comes out after that. Have you experienced that in your life? Have you experienced that where you give and then you come away from it and you say, well, really, I got more out of that than I feel like I gave. I went to give, but I definitely gained more than I gave. We have friends that are in Guatemala. Um, and our friends in Guatemala, they are in the same lockdown type of thing that we are. There's a total curfew for them from 4 p.m. to 4 a.m. There's no going out. Even our school is closed down, and that's a real concern for many of us because we sponsor children there, and our children get a daily meal at the school we support. But the government has shut down everything. I have several different people who contacted me saying, "What about our kids? What are our kids doing? How are we? How are they able to get food?" So I talked to the director, and he said it is difficult to get food. Any of the normal food supply places for the poor have been closed down, and food is scarce. And so I asked him, "But if you had the funds available, would you be able to secure food for the kids?" And he said, "Yeah, there is food available in the markets and those things, but also because so many people who are day laborers, we're not working, we're not doing anything, there's no money for it." Well, I asked that question because different people had been asking me, "What can we do? What can we do?" So several of them said, "All right, Scott, here's some money. We need to figure out how to get this into their hands quickly." And so I got these pictures back yesterday of some of the staff, the teachers, the director, the secretary, meeting together in the director's home after buying a whole bunch of supplies with the money that we sent. So, you know what happened? I smiled. Sometimes I actually end up crying when I will look at something like this and see that God wanted us to give. We didn't put out a big appeal or anything. We didn't do any of that. It was people who said, "What can we do? What can we do?" And then they just gave cheerfully. And you know what happens is coming out on the other side of this, uh, we're just blessed. We're just blessed by it. So we're in a time right now in our society where we're hoarding. People are so scared that they won't have enough that they're hoarding. But see, that's not what God calls us to be. God calls us to reflect his character by being cheerful givers. Now, whether that's supporting the ministry of your church, and every church is in desperate need right now, or whether it's saying, okay, what can we do locally here? Well, can I leave a bag of groceries on somebody's step that I know is in need? Do I have more? I like the way this woman took something unexpected and decided, I'm going to reinvest that. And she took it, and her investment continues on and on and on. So the fact is, God loves a cheerful giver. If you've heard this message used to compel you or guilt you in to giving, with the like saying, if you're not cheerful about forking over your check, God's not happy with you. No, we're missing the heart of this. We want to get close enough to God that we understand his character, that we reflect his character, so that it's truly a joy when we give. You know how we begin to do that? I think we start doing it by just testing it a little bit and saying, all right, God, I'm nervous about this, but here, I'm going to give this. I'm going to sow this and just see what happens. Here's what I know about God. He blesses us more than we can ever imagine. I mean, it seems in Robin and my life, every time we've just said, all right, here's an opportunity to share with somebody, to lift somebody up. And when they say, why are you doing this? We say, because our God gives so much to us, we got to give to others. We just have to do it. We reflect him. He's right in here. Man, we find that we just reap the blessing more and more. So today, guys, I just challenge you to think of some way. Where can I give? What can I do? How can I give? And maybe give out of something that was unexpected. Maybe take that challenge a little bit. I don't know. Do you bake pies? Drop it off at a neighbor's house. What is it that you do? Let's figure out how to be cheerful givers and reflect our God. That's all I have for you today. I hope you have an awesome day. Going to hang around here on Facebook Live for a bit and just chat with you guys who are on. But this is the place that we will end. You think I'm giving you the peace symbol? No, I'm not. I'm going to look for this when I go through and scrub and edit and say, split that video there so that we can have it as a backup. But it is good. Peace. All right. Morning, Nina and Ed and Chelsea and Jan. How are you guys doing? Everybody good? Sorry I didn't get more presentable with a shower at least. You think of the beard, trying to be like my hero Phil. Phil's going to be shaving his off, but I'm going to be looking like Gandalf by the time this is all done. So what are the plans for today? Headache gone. It is right now. My headache is gone, and I'm thankful for that. I'm gonna find. I think they're coming because of the decongestant I'm using. People are gonna start freaking out because it's allergy time, and so they're gonna look at all of us who have allergies, who have runny noses and a cough, or we sneeze, and they're gonna throw rocks at us, and we'll be out for a walk and we'll cough, and suddenly people start yelling at us. I'm scared. That makes me nervous. Yeah, the restrictions are hard, aren't they? One of Robin's students online the other day in her class said, why don't they just do what they did in China and make it so that nobody can go anywhere and lock everybody down? Um, and I was thinking, well, because in China, the government's going to shoot you. So that's a real. You're like, okay, I'll stay in. This is hard. Jan is making bread today. I hear it is not Nora bread though. No Nora bread today. It's bread with yeast. We finally found some yeast, or actually, our Donald Jacob found yeast in one of the grocery stores that he supplies. So that's good. I think I'm going to be doing some prepping for Sunday, a little bit of video editing, uh, getting that ready. Then I'm going to try to just let my mind rest somehow. Can't really go for a walk or anything. It's raining, and I'll melt because I'm really sweet. It's true. All right. Is Nora must have projects going though. Nora is a project lady. She is good with the projects. Do you see that fish tank in my background? There's a fish tank over there in my background that's actually my TV screen. Um, and I found it when we were looking for something for the kids to do, like part of a field trip or whatever. And so I found this thing on YouTube that said it's a 4K, which our kids bought us a fancy 4K TV several years back. And so the TV is broadcasting this 4K 11 hours of aquarium. And I think I can point to it. See, right over there. It's gorgeous. That's 11 hours of just relaxing, beautiful fish floating around without all the hassle of having to clean the aquarium or anything. So I've been playing that. It's very nice. Very nice. So, Nina, do you have any projects going? Reading any books? Who's reading a book? Wondering if there's any interest in next week doing a daily, like, little Bible study on the book that we got for our Sunday morning breakfast group of the last words of Christ on the cross, and maybe doing one each day. Um, that maybe that's what we'll do next week. Um, See if there's interest in that. Have to keep talking because we have a 30-second delay in this. So when I ask you a question, it's like 30 seconds later when you answer me. And so then I have to keep rambling. Otherwise, there's nothing but silence. How many of you guys have one of these lint brushes? It's one of those Cape lint things. Just taking a hold. Just curious. Um, hmm. Well, nothing seems to be happening. You guys are quiet and not typing anything. The fish are back there floating around in the anemone. You guys who've seen Finding Nemo, you understand that joke. The anemone. Robin's on the treadmill because she's good like that. Treadmill bores me to death. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to sign off then. Unless you just want to sit here looking at me, which is totally understandable. Nothing. All right. See you guys later. Have a great day.